Welcome to The Draw Step, where we celebrate the art from the latest Magic the Gathering sets and the artists behind them. My name is Edwin Damen, and I'm back to talk through the artistic themes of March of the Machine and the cards that inspired me to draw my own illustration based on those themes. As always, I will try to credit the artists and pronounce their names as well as I can, and I will put links to their work in the description of the video. So let's get into it. March of the Machine is the final chapter in the Phyrexian invasion arc. And this time, everyone's invited. Or should I say, invaded. The Praetors all get new cards in the set, and I especially like this interpretation of Elesh Norn by Magali Villeneuve. She looks a little different from before, a little taller, a little spikier, and a little less exposed in the belly part. Vorinclex by Daarken hasn't changed as much, but I also love this portrayal. Its design, the combination of the natural elements, the exposed flesh, and the porcelain exoskeletal horns on its face, it's as scary as ever. Out of all the Praetors, Vorinclex seems like the most menacing one. March of the Machine revisits basically every plane known to the multiverse, from the artifact cities of Kaladesh to the fairy tale world of Eldraine, as displayed in these works from Tukker and Cristi Balanescu. The new battle cards have a relatively small art box, especially when you consider all the tiny things that are going on in these battle scenes, so I would recommend looking them up in full resolution. We also see a lot of old familiar faces. I personally love Eldraine. I'm a sucker for fairy tale stuff, so I'm happy to see characters like Rowan by Pauline Voss and Ayara by Podedworna and fairies like Halo Forager by Sidharta making their return. Old showcase borders and styles are back as well. Drana and Linvala by Anato, Finnstark and the Zendikar showcase art is probably my favorite of those. There's also multiple sets of secret layers coming up with new art treatments for old cards, so if you're into alternate art for cards and showcase stuff, be sure to check those out too. Speaking of Drana and Linvala, there are a bunch of characters teaming up in this set. These unexpected alliances are great ingredients for cool artwork, as characters are usually enhanced when juxtaposed to someone else. I really like the art for Elenda and Azor by Vargas, with Elenda just being awesome in the front and Azor casually wreaking havoc in the background. Katilda and Lier by Justyna Dura definitely have some chemistry too. They're playing around with their spells, and from their expressions it looks like they're enjoying it maybe a bit more than they should. Because the set has so many styles and themes, it was a little challenging to find a common theme to go off for my own drawing. The battle scenes are very iconic, but also very elaborate, and I didn't think I'd be able to finish a detailed piece like that in time. So instead I started with a destroyed battlefield, post-battle. At the focus point of the composition, I envisioned a Phyrexian-like, giant-made machine marching across the destroyed plain towards a lone survivor. The Phyrexians are the common thread in the set, so it made sense to focus on that, with cards like Tenured Oilcaster, Failed Conversion, and Eyes of Jictaxius, some of my favorite Phyrexian-themed cards. There's a lot of dark and freaky stuff in this set. But even the freaky stuff can be colorful, like this Blight Reaper Thalit by Martanal, straight from the Urborg swamps. Speaking of Urborg, I wanted to highlight two of my favorite pieces of art from the set. First off, this new version of Yawgmoth's Vile Offering by Chase Stone. As a relatively new Magic player, I wasn't too familiar with the story of what happened here, but after seeing this striking, unsettling piece of art, I had to look it up. In the center of the piece we see Gerard, who decapitated Urza in hopes to bring back his beloved Hannah, as it was promised by Yawgmoth. But Hannah appears as a simulacrum, not the Hannah Gerard once knew. The rest of what we see is Yawgmoth itself. This creepy dome, the stretched and melded bodies and ribbed hands. Anyway, my other favorite artwork from this set is Storm the Seed Core by Jason Rainville. Another story moment where here we see Ren being brought to the front line of the war. She is temporarily without a host and needs to be carried by Mirrodin soldiers. People have jokingly called this the Renaissance painting, and I don't think they're wrong, although it's probably more similar to paintings of the neoclassical style, which came a little later in the 18th century. But that's not the point. The fact that we can compare this work to classical works of art, that it shares similar qualities in composition, motion, and expression with those pieces, with those works of art, speaks volumes. And I really think this is a masterpiece. And now that my own measly little drawing is almost done, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, you know the drill. I plan to do these for every main set as soon as they come out. And hey, it's a tough world out there. If you can, please support artists, support people, because we are better than the machines.